anytime someone passes away in the fitness community, even if you don't know them personally, it hits home. Because at the end of the day, it's our community. Now, Joe Lindner, aka Joesthetics, honestly, didn't know the guy, heard of him in passing, but I woke up this morning, I'm actually on vacation with my family, last day of our cruise, and when someone in fitness dies who's the picture of perfect health, all the speculation flies around. Is it steroids? Is it this? Now you're throwing around, he had an interview, and I saw the interview, someone sent it to me, about he was having some side effects from the vaccine. So I look at it and I'm like, okay, let me take this in and figure out what's going on. Maybe I can help you guys in not getting scared or in figuring out what really happened, because it's all over the place. Now, his girlfriend posted a video that he died of a brain aneurysm or an aneurysm of some sort. I'm guessing brain. Now, an aneurysm can be caused by many things. It can be genetic, right? It can be caused by atherosclerosis, which is basically clogged arteries, right? Or it can be caused by high blood pressure. And what basically happens is it bursts and it's an aneurysm. It bleeds out and you pretty much die. That's how I lost my father. My father never took steroids. My father had a kidney transplant, and so he was on a blood thinner known as Coumadin, which thinned his blood. So when he had his aneurysm, he bled out. His blood was unable to clot, which made it where he could not be saved, and he passed away. And so I know a lot about aneurysms and a lot about blood clots because of what happened to my father. So at the beginning, there were a lot of things flying around, right? The first thing was, obviously, you go to that when a bodybuilder dies, is heart issues, because of the purported issues that bodybuilders or any athletes who are on steroids, or even just athletes have enlarged hearts, just normally because they're athletic and they work their heart a lot, is that you point to heart attack. And an aneurysm is not a heart attack. So there are many factors that play a role. As I said, my father could have been predisposed to having an aneurysm because you have a thinner wall of your artery. And that's one of the main causes, is genetic issues, is congenital issues. Another thing that can happen is, again, constant high blood pressure. Now, being that this guy seems like he was in amazing shape, he wasn't obese, I don't think that having super high blood pressure, unless, of course, that's where it could be steroid related, and I don't want to by any means speak ill on him at all, but the way it can happen is steroid use can increase your blood pressure, and it can also throw off your HDL, LDL cholesterol, which can cause the clogging of your arteries, so to speak, the plaque buildup, which is why it's so vital to get that calcium score done. So I posted, I forgot where I posted, I said, hey, all you young bodybuilders really need to pay attention to your health. And I'm not just saying, look, man, I say every day in my DMs, I advise, I encourage every young athlete to stay off of steroids completely, to not take steroids. I just don't think the risk reward is worth it for most. Now, of course, if you want to be a pro bodybuilder, if you want to do that, hey, it's your body. You only live once. Take the risks that you feel are worth taking, right? Of course, mitigate those risks. I don't want to die. I'm in the middle of the ocean, beautiful ship, did beautiful excursions. I don't want to die. But everything in life, whether it's bungee jumping, whether it's playing football, the CTE, the brain damage, which I played football, I have more injuries and more damage to my body from football and my brain than I'll ever have from bodybuilding. Football is a dangerous, deadly sport. Look at Junior Seau. Look at all these wrestlers. Look at head damage. Look at Chris Benoit in the WWE. All his finishing move was a flying headbutt. Many times that guy got concussions. When I was boxing, I can't even count the number of concussions I had. With any activity, with any endeavor you do, there's going to be risk. So this Joe guy, Joesthetics, again, rest in peace. He actually did videos. I was looking at his Instagram about how he used to, do really heavy cycles. Now he's moved over to TRT, and that's great. But your heart, I look at it this way. Your heart is like a transmission on a car. Some transmissions, like a good old-fashioned, you still see the 1980 Toyota Celicas on the road that are still square-shaped like an 80s car, and they're still running. They only go like 40 miles an hour, but they're still running. See, some people have hearts that are Toyota Celicas. Yet one time I bought a Lemon, a Ford Explorer, when I was just out of college, and the transmission died at like 30,000 miles. See, your heart only has a certain number of beats. It can only put in so much work based on your genetics. So the more stress and strain you put it through, the more risk inherent, which is why I tell people, look, no matter what you do, there are certain things you need to do for your health. One is, if you're going to take steroids, mitigate the damage, mitigate the risk. And whether that is just being safe with your dosing, whether that's doing cardio, not becoming too big, so to speak, the bigger you are, the more strain on your heart, right? You got to mitigate those risks. Now, there is one natural supplement that I'm not even going to, again, you're not going to see an intro, not going to see an outro, not going to see any ads in this video. It's not going to be monetized because that's a douchey thing to do. And I've done it before on accident and people hated it, and I will never do it again. There's a supplement called nattokinase, which for this exact thing that happened to him, I'm not, again, talk to your doctor, not making any claims, but the data is pretty clear that it does have some benefits in reducing the risk from blood clots. What I recommend is nattokinase. Usually comes Now Foods has one. You can buy them off many different places. 2,000 FUs per cap. I recommend 2 to 4 caps a day. That's 4,000 to 8,000 FUs. That's the measuring unit of nattokinase. Again, another thing you could do is don't get too big, don't get obese, and always go in and get a checkup. And the thing is, Mike Cernovich on Twitter posted this. He had a pain in the back of his neck, and he didn't go get checked. So I replied to Cernovich on Twitter, and I put that just last week on Monday. I woke up with this horrible pain in the back, and I believe it's my occipital lymph node was swollen. And I knew exactly what it was, and I know the treatment is basically painkillers, maybe antibiotics, and hot pad to the back of your head, to wherever the lymph node is swollen. It could be here, could be here, could be here. There's many lymph nodes in your body. But just in case, I only had a couple days till I left for the cruise. I went to urgent care, and I said, hey, what is this? He said, your diagnosis is right. I'm going to prescribe you a 7-day cycle of antibiotics. And lo and behold, my lymph node is unswollen, but I have that peace of mind knowing I had a pain in the back of my head, right? That could have been an aneurysm, could have been a lot of things, which they could have fixed. Women tend to go get things checked out. Men are like, I don't need the doctor, I don't need to get it checked out. Here's the thing. If you have any pain in this area, you have any numbing of your right arm, pain in your chest, anything that's weird, pain in your side, and it just keeps happening. Jerry Ward, same thing. He had a pain in his chest. Lost one of my best friends in my entire life. And due to a blood clot. So I know there's some people saying that it's the vaccine. I'm not going there. Before the age of 40, I lost many friends of friends. These weren't close friends of mine, but I knew them. They were runners. They were healthy. They were not on steroids, but they died of heart issues, heart attacks, aneurysms, blood clots, right? Pulmonary embolisms. That's what got Jerry. So what I want you to do is, 1, take nattokinase. 2, look at your family history. 3 is, if you have symptoms, please don't ignore them. And I also want you, look, man, keep the comments respectful. Keep the comments nice. I don't know this guy. I just want to kind of tell you what I think happened to him. But keep the comments respectful, please. Anytime someone passes away, whether you love them, whether you hate them, whether you're indifferent about them, you know, they leave behind a family, they leave behind friends, and it really hurts to besmirch or speak ill of anyone who passed away. So again, my thoughts and prayers to his family. I wish everyone in this situation the best. It sucks that it happened, but hopefully it's a learning experience. There's nothing positive except what we learn from this. What we learned is that we need to be wary of blood clots and aneurysms. That's something I never thought about before Jerry died. So another thing I do is, when I fly, I get them off of Amazon. They're called SB socks. Again, I'm not going to link Amazon because I do have an affiliate. I'm not going to link it, okay? But they're called SB socks. They're compression socks. After Jerry died, someone messaged me and it's like, hey, wear these. This would have saved Jerry. I don't know about that. I'm not a doctor, right? But every time I fly, I wear compression socks. My best friend, one of my best friends, Steven, aka Sheamus for WWE, every time he flies, he wears compression socks now. Because I'm like, you're on the road all the time. Please put these on. make sure that this doesn't happen. And he, again, the reason we're friends, because he was close friends with Jerry Ward as well. And my brother-in-law, who's severely overweight, when he was in town, he was flying out, and I'm like, you're not going on that plane. I gave him a pair of my compression socks. We need to be wary of these blood clots, nattokinase, compression socks, and if you feel something weird, get it checked out. Go to urgent care, go to your doctor, do what you need to do. My urgent care through insurance is like $50 deductible. And my insurance after Obamacare isn't the greatest. So you probably have good insurance, as good as mine. Look, guys, I really appreciate you watching. Thoughts and prayers.